we have up here? This looks like a thing. Oh, this might be another one of those, like, weird noodle beast areas. If I can get off? I keep pressing the wrong button to get off. Can I climb it? Are we good? Yeah. Hello, thing. Ah, yep, another noodle beast. Give me your baby! This is just the most confusing. I don't get it. Okay, where's my bike's over here? Hello! There we go. Okay. Oh, that's a... I hadn't really paid attention to that door when I played the demo. It's two people making an arch by, you know... I guess... Is that clasping their hands? It's like the world's biggest and longest double high five. Gosh, I have not high-fived somebody in years. It's... Frankly, it doesn't matter. But some part of me is actually really put off by the idea of that. Yeah, I don't know. This game puts me in kind of an interesting mood. The idea of, you know, going off on a journey and moving away from home and some other things like that. It reminds me of Lord of the Rings and Naruto. Yeah, I mean, it's a very compelling design choice, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, they were inspired by one or both of them. But, what's I gonna say? You know, the idea of moving out, going on a journey, well, that didn't work. We might not make this? No, we made it. Okay, we got lucky there. But, so... the idea of even something as simple as a high five. You know, that was something that you kind of did more often in the before times, especially. You know, especially nowadays, like, I would maybe do a tasteful fist bump tops. At least until, you know, I don't have to worry about immediately washing my hands. And even a fist bump would be a little maybe suspect. I think I'm more paranoid than a lot of people. But at the same time, I intend to be fully healthy until it's safe to be not as healthy, question mark. But, you know, how many different things did you do as a kid? Like, weird activities, social norms that, you know, you'd normally consider fairly standard. And that, you know, as an adult, you have almost no impetus to ever repeat those gestures. Yeah, like eating dirt when you're 3 years old. Except for, like, eating dirt when you're 3 is very much just kind of like a... You do that because you're 3 and you're stupid. And you don't know better. I don't think I ever ate dirt, but I could be wrong. Oh, right, I'm supposed to interact with this thing up here. I think? Oh no, there it is. Maybe. Either that or this is just money. Nope. There's the power supply. Perfect. Did the music just kind of freak out a bit? I think it did. Oh, it's okay. I don't like physical contact. Never had a good reason to avoid it. Refuse physical contact past. I don't like it. And very few people can handle something like that without immediately getting annoyed about it. But because of COVID, you have a good excuse to refuse all contact. Yeah, I was never much of a hugger. I didn't like it when people hugged me. Hey, 100 cuts, made from metal harvested from crashed ships. Have holes punched through the middle where a rope can be slid through for easy and convenient transportation. I haven't used currency. Gosh, that's another thing. Much like high-fiving, currency. My parents visited at the end of July, back when it seemed things were relatively safe. And were relatively safe at the time. But as part of visiting, we were, you know, going out and buying some things, doing whatever. And my dad was trying to give me 20 bucks to buy something. I don't know, it was probably food at a grocery store, but I had a digital app to pay for the food. And so there was less, no. There was less immediate reason, no, for me to have those 20 bucks. I don't want to say necessarily that my dad was disappointed that he couldn't give me money. I think my dad enjoys being generous to people that appreciate it. And so... Okay, whew, I'm lucky. There we go. Sometimes eating vegetables you can get a chunk of dirt. Yeah, but it's not like intentional where you just grab a fistful and just eat because you're a dang kid. Give me baby... Well, I climbed it. I climbed the chum. This looks better than the demo did. Normally don't get motion sick in this game, so the demo made you physically ill. Interesting. I think they changed the field of view. I think, anyway. Is it a tree bike? Yeah, it's a tree bike. But yeah, so he was trying to give me... Was it 20 bucks or was it 40 bucks? I don't know. He was trying to give me money. And I appreciate it. But it's also like, what am I gonna do with 20 bucks? Like, physical cash is just... I'm sure I could actually use it in a store, but the idea of keeping track of it... I haven't had a wallet in like 10 years. I'm sure there's more of a reason to. I had a wallet case for my phone, but even that I've phased out. And I think that's fine, but it's just so weird, you know, how much of a central focus some of these things were. Oh, that's the temple with Squatty Buttman. Got it. You know how central certain things like cash is, and you know how much we've moved away from that as a society. I would actually almost like it if we moved away from quote-unquote paper money and back to like a wide variety of interesting coinage, partly for the novelty of it, and also I love the idea of having like cash on a rope, because why the heck not? Okay, find the calibrator. Right, we're gonna ask somebody about beetles. You look like a man that would know about beetles. This guy's got a bucket for a head. Umar is a man of few words, and he's nothing if not consistent. Well, if he knows about beetles, he's certainly not letting it on. Hey, that weird sound effect bug doesn't play. Back in the demo, if you're on 60 FPS, oh, that might be it. Specifically with the demo, that you might have been getting motion sick because it was on 30 as opposed to 60. Cash on a rope instead of paper would get heavy. I know, but it'd still be cool. Hello. Could I ask about catching beetles for that awful little Saima? Do you know where I can find some beetles? There's a nest of beetles just east of here. You can't just walk up and catch it, though. There's some seeds growing on the rocks around the nest. Drop a seed on the floor, and the beetle will start eating it. Then you can sneak up and grab it. Okay, there we go. Ah. Hello, little glider. That's big glider to you. I tell Jotty that I'm actually a big glider. She laughs. You're right, you are. Sable, noted adult and big glider. I'll keep that in mind. Gather 3 beetles. Cool. Where's Bike? Bike over here. Alright. Can I ask about catching beetles? Beetles? Beetles. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. Everybody seems to know. Something on your mind? Go see the daughter. Don't we help get her back? Yeah. Parenting. I mean, it makes sense. Gosh. Yeah, if my kid didn't have the ability to, oh, hey! Didn't have the ability to glide and climbed up to one of these, I think I'd be terrified. Hello. I approached the cartographer. Ah, greetings, child. I saw you looking longingly at my great balloon. Quite a piece of work, isn't she? She really is. And not enthusiastically. It really is an impressive vessel. However nervous I get imagining being up there all alone. I wonder if anyone's ever fallen off one. Best not to ask right now. Well, good to meet you. And oh, I should introduce myself. I'm Jordan. I tell him I'm Sable. I suppose if you come all this way to see me, it's probably a map you're after, eh, Sable? I'd love a map. Tell the cartographer I'd love a map. Of course you would. That'll be 50 cuts. To my ears, it's a fair price for a map, but too expensive for a pre-gliding glider with empty pockets. Tell Jordan I'll be back. Ask Jody for some money. Farewell, child. I can't just give you the map for free. Come back when you have some cuts. Farewell. But I have cuts. The balloon was more fun than the person in it. Fair. Grandmother, I am poor. Please ignore the jangle of all the money that I've purloined from the nearby ruins. Give me money. I desire cash. Okay. Okay, don't care about those. I told Jody that the cartographer wants 50 cuts for a map to the ewer. I try to hedge the way I speak about this. I'm not entirely sure whether that's too much, not enough for precisely its value. She tells me not to worry. Here's some money to get you going on your journey. Use it mostly wisely, and then a little unwisely when the mood strikes. It's good to know the value of money, but you never want to be ruled by it. I thank Jody effusively and head out on my way. Effusively. Oh, that's such a good word. Not a fan of forced interactions like that. I mean, it makes sense to some degree. Because otherwise I'd miss out on 200 buckaroos. Okay. There we go. Hello. I now have more money. I had enough money previously, but now I have more. Greetings, child. Map. Perfect, let's trade then. Map of ewer. Bye. I thank Jordan for the ewer map. And all of its vast possibilities. Something about it makes it feel more real. Good luck on your gliding, Sable. I still remember mine. Ask how it was. Short. I knew since I was a boy that cartography was for me. But I spent a little extra time out there just to enjoy the world. Speaking of, keep an eye on the skies, eh? Plenty of my colleagues out there. And they'll have more maps to sell you from Hakoa to the Sodic Waste. I thank Jordan for the tip and say goodbye. Farewell, child. I guess, but that would be your choice, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, it could easily... Oh, hey, that's actually a nice map. Really nicely illustrated, honestly. And now I can actually add markers. In a way that doesn't feel kind of silly. Bike is there. Perfect. It would be your choice, you know. Consequences for actions and missed opportunities and whatnot. And I mean, honestly, they could just have it that the grandmother gives you the money on the way out anyway. Okay, where the hell? Oh, right. We were gonna go find the Beatles. Which I think are on the right? They're on the right. I know John Lennon is dead. Are the rest of the Beatles alive? I don't actually remember. It's also kind of one of those where it's like I don't really care too much. I mean, obviously I want them to live long and healthy lives, but I just never was particularly attached to the Beatles as a concept. Their music just didn't really appeal to me. Okay, 2R. I wasn't really that interested in... Ringo and Paul are still alive. Ringo is the one that does the weird artwork, yeah? I'm pretty sure that's the case. Oh, I see it. So, Arthur's saying I believe several of them are alive, yes. Here's the question. What do you guys think several stands for? 1 to 3? 3 to 5? 7? 10? How many is several? So what kind of game is this? It's an open world exploration puzzle game, kind of. I'm trying to think of a good way of describing it. But that's the best I got. Alright. Big bad beetle boys. Oh, nice. It's really pleasant. I'm just gonna hide in the bushes. Somebody's gonna show up at some point. Oh, that was weird. Camera angles and whatnot. Beetle 1. Okay, I'm too close. There we go. George Harrison died of lung cancer after surviving being stabbed in home invasion. Oh, that's horrifying. Gosh, I was watching a video talking about, I guess it was kind of negative fan interactions, and like that depending on who and where you are as far as like Twitch and Twitch streaming goes, or even being a YouTuber, that weird fan interactions like fans trying to find out where you live is very much going to be the it like actually is just kind of inevitable for a lot of people, and that horrified me a little bit. I can't imagine what it's like to be, yeah, you know, remember the beetle. God damn it. Okay, gotta find more fruit juice. Ow. Bam. There more? Might as well just kind of knock everything loose as I go by. If I can. Nope. Well, it's fine. Okay, there we go. Got it. Hello, beetle. You are mine. Okay. Give the beetles to Saima. She likes to play in the cave beneath the camp. Got it. Okay. Anyway, open world exploration, like with a story to discover in that? Yeah. I think a lot of it is environmental, but much of it is not. Unfortunately, I'm still in the tutorial, so it's a little hard to tell exactly what the overarching narrative of this game is. The main theme of this is spreading your wings and being like an independent adult. And many of the character interactions, I mean, it's quite literally that, but it matches up fairly analogously to real life to some degree. The idea of, you know, going off for college or even post-college. You're really stepping away from being underneath your parents' thumb. And being in charge of yourself, finally. And your life, and, you know, where you're going and what you're doing and whatnot. And I think that's a really cool story. I mean, obviously you see it a lot in a lot of games. You know, it's not uncommon to have the hero's journey involve, you know, the adolescent's character going on a journey, but you almost never examine it. So playing a sci-fi version of Kiki's Delivery Service, that's a really good way of putting it. Though you're not really working in another town or city, it's more like you're just road tripping. I feel embarrassingly vindicated as I hand Saima the Beatles, but rather than gloat, she hands me the calibrator and begins to cry. What have I done? You're leaving, you're never coming back. Comfort her. Why not? She blows her nose, then wipes her hand on her tunic. Yara never came back after the last gliding. Aren't you sad? You were her friend. I miss her too. There's been a letter here and there, but it's always to us rather than to me. I'm not bitter, but I hope not to be like that. Please don't go. I tell Simon not to worry, that I'll be back sooner than she knows, and I'm sure she pouts behind the mask. And I add that if I'm not back sooner than she knows, she'll be ready for her gliding by then and she can come bother me herself. Promise? I say yes. Good, then I suppose I can come see you off. I thank her and say goodbye for now. Is there anything cool in the cave? I mean, there's this. Aha! Which hides money. Oh, red dye. Oh, for the bike. Right. I know you can customize the bike a little bit. But yeah, I really like the idea of this kind of... I don't know. The Wanderlust story, I think, speaks to me on a deep level. And I'm really glad that they're actually talking about it. The greater themes and, like, the effects on a person and the people around you for being out and about like this. Just ask me... Okay. So, can't do anything with that now. We want to go to Cizo at the top. Got it. You know, I would love to play, like, a Pokemon game, for example, that actually gets into the logistics of being one of these, like, honestly, like 10, 14-year-old kids truly being on their own. Not just kind of in the way that Pokemon currently does, where it's just like, yeah, everybody's happy and it's fine. But it's like, no, actually, like, this is quite the ordeal to just send a kid off on. And that I would love to see Pokemon actually acknowledge that a little bit more and say, like, yeah, this is actually, like, kind of an unhealthy societal tradition. I return to Cizo with the parts, and she waves me over. I feel that pang of sadness in my chest. When will I see her again, once I'm gone? Well done, Sable. Yes, this is everything we need. You ready to assemble a bike of your own? I'm ready. Well, let's head to the workshop. Have you gone on many adventures, Wander? Here and there, yeah. I mean, probably less than many people, but I've gone on a decent amount. Oh, sick. Cizo relaxes in the workshop. It isn't that she's particularly rigid or anxious ordinarily, but there's a certain calm beauty that one truly appreciates when Cizo is in her element. I wonder if it's that way for all machinists. What you must understand, Sable, is the components you acquired, they fit together, not by chance, not by effort, but by nature. They belong to her. They've always belonged to her. All we are doing is assembling her from what she has already been. I nod, and I feel a slight, soft buzzing in my ears. Among my clan, we believe that machines have names, held for ages like deep secrets, unheard by those unequipped to listen. We find this one's name together. We will find this one's name together. Assemble the machine. Is it this? No. This? No. No, I guess I just have to... Hello. Gliding bike booster. Let's make a hoverbike. Yeah, exactly. I really am not a big fan of the idea of a motorbike, but boy, if it was a hoverbike like this, I would be 100% down. Oh, why did I put it on the ground? Ah. Throw it. Aha! Boy. That was like the least effort I've ever seen anybody put into a throw. Okay, now what? Okay. So I've done that. Now what do? Oh, it does want me to interact with it. With this, it just didn't give me the prompt earlier. So why don't you like motorbikes? So I've got an uncle that is like the best example of what not to do in life for a lot of reasons. I'll talk about that in a second. Listen. Cizo tilts her head for a moment, listening closer to Simoon. All at once, I knew the hoverbike's name, Simoon. I say it in a whisper and let Cizo know. Simoon, Simoon. Well done, Sable. What does it mean? What does it mean? You should ask her yourself. Cizo looks entirely serious. The bike, to my enduring surprise, says nothing. Even when I lean close, I tell Simoon that I'm eager to know her better, and Cizo looks quite proudly at both of us. You're ready, then. For the gliding. May all the gods turn their faces from you, Sable. An odd blessing, perhaps, but Cizo is prone to such things, and I can read her in her tone that it was meant quite sweetly. You must learn to listen to Simoon, to care for her. Seek out my fellow machinists on your travels, Sable. They will teach you the art of machine whispering. Oh, yeah, that was loud. And here, take this. It's a machinist badge. You'll meet plenty of my ilk on your gliding. Show them your worth, and they'll give you more badges. I thank Cizo twice for good measure, and give a bow. I am ready. Yes! Bike. Okay. Gotta speak to Jotty before we can go anywhere. Perfect. Anyway, quick thing for my uncle. So, a couple of things about him. He's missing an eye. Well, it's there, it just doesn't work. Because he had a firecracker blow up in his face at the tender age of like 12. And they couldn't save the eye. So, you know, it's still there, but he can't see out of it. He's got scars all over his face and body from crashing off of motorbikes multiple times to the point where, I don't know if he's actually legally allowed to ride motorbikes anymore. And just like a couple other ridiculous things. And like the poor man is an absolute sweetheart, but just terrible risk assessment skills. Instinct? I don't know. I return to Jotty with a new lightness, and it makes the weight of my departure feel heavier still. What a strange day. Sable, is that a badge you've got there? Caesar gave it to me. I tell Jotty that Caesar gave me a badge. You must have earned it. Well done. I give a bow of thanks. Well, Sable, if you keep this up, you'll be headed for the mask caster in no time. I try to think about going to a mask caster, but it seems to be impossibly far away. Imagine choosing what I want to be. Imagine choosing what I want to be forever. I know what you're thinking, but don't worry about it. You got plenty of badges. You'll get plenty of badges when you're out there. And once you've got 3 alike, you can trade it in for that mask. But don't feel like your first mask is your final choice. Gliding is about freedom and exploration. I suggest you claim as many masks as you wish. Only at the end, at your final ceremony, will you be asked to choose one. How will I choose one? You'll have to feel it out, but when you know, you'll know. Now, I hear the tone of her now puts the butterflies back in my stomach. With all of this done, there's only one thing left. It's time then, isn't it? Time to walk through the face door at the Temple of Rahana. There, you'll assemble your gliding mask and go. There are things I wish to convey to Jotty here, depths of love and gratitude and fear and worry and hope. And though I find myself unable to speak any of it in words, I know she understands. Oh, I do spot a wiggle in the background. Before you leave, child, I made you these. They're dyed with the traditional Abexi maroon, and I hope provide you great comfort out in the desert. When you leave today, you will no longer be Sable, clan child of Abexi. You will simply be Sable, and the rest will come. But no matter what you are, no matter where your journey takes you, I will always know you, and I will always love you. And I will see you again. I don't know where my journey will end, but I know where it must begin, and I'm ready. Wiggle! Must retrieve Wiggle. It is there, in the sky, shining like diamond, but not really. That would be weird. Hello, give me your baby. Give me baby. Thank you. At the end of this, we get a chum mask and can become a chum. Oh, wouldn't that be horrifying? Just like there's some like really secret paths that just don't make any gosh darn sense. My dad has no sight in one eye. Still going to the doctors to try and fix it. I think he might have had sight in it by now, but he decided to mow with the lawn and got hit in the head by a swing set while he was still healing and the retina got detached. Oh, that's horrifying. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Ew. Like how after you get 3 masks, you can basically just wrap the game up if you choose. I kind of like the freeform aspect to that. I'm not even sure if it would give you a bad ending. I think it would just be like, yeah, but what about these other things that you could have done? It's a nice way of doing it. I don't know. Freeform games that kind of respect maybe your time, your passion, your desire to reach an ending sooner than later. A lot of games don't do that, and it's always kind of unfortunate. Okay, so I was going to say this earlier, but I'm going to say this now before we go too far. So it's available on every major platform, 25 bucks, and also on the Games Pass if you guys feel like picking it up. I've heard there's a couple of bugs, but so far I haven't run into a single one of them. So at the very least, as a, as a data point of 1, I can say it at least performs dang well. Actually, it performs better than the demo that I played. The demo had some weird problems. This is weird. Oh, it's moving. Okay, this is strange. I mean, this whole game is strange. I have no idea what any of these details are. And how much of this is a society that is normal? How much of this is a society that has collapsed and then found kind of a new equilibrium to live with? Or how much of this is just kind of the natural result of who these people are? Clearly there are spaceships. Are there normally spacefaring people? Were these people spacefaring once upon a time and just, you know, crashed? Or do these people just kind of live here Tatooine style, but if you really wanted to, you could absolutely, like, motor out into the sunset and go to, like, a completely different planet? Maybe not within the game. Failed terraforming. Yeah, that could make sense. Like, it's very clear that they have some, like, pretty sick sci-fi technology here. And or magic? I mean, there's the phrase, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I very much stand by the idea of that for this game. That, you know, so many of the background details are just like, yeah, is this magic or is this just like crazy sci-fi tech that might have once had a purpose? But because of their society kind of moving away from being spacefaring, maybe that what once was, you know, just space magic is now just kind of a utility. You know, it's kind of like a... What is it? It's not aging. Coming of age. Yeah, it's like a coming of age thing for younger people. Maybe? Yeah, they take crashed spaceship parts and make bikes. Makes sense. I feel like in my situation, were I aware that my society once came from these ships, I think I'd spend a tremendous amount of my time obsessed over how to get back to that. Maybe. Or at least hoping that we could. You know, from a real life perspective, okay. Hitching a little bit in here. You know, from my perspective, I'm always pining for weird green tech and new ideas and new, like, cool developments and stuff. And that I wish our world and our society progressed a little bit faster, because it'd be so cool to see interesting things. I mean, we've gone, you know, through so many changes over the last you know, let's say 2 centuries. But even then, I always wonder, like, how much more could we progress through if we were less wrapped up in our weird garbage. Ooh, that's a sick mask. I like the concept of a young civilization discovering tech from an advanced civilization and treating it like magic or miracles or something. I like the idea of it, but it often leads to some kind of weird dogma, which is my worry. That in a lot of these games, you end up with people that are almost kind of obsessed with it in a way that it is unhealthy for the people in the society. As a kind of weirdly macabre mask, honestly. But it's an Abexi mask, so I guess it's legit. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. There you go. That's a good one. I think that's actually probably the best example I can think of. That Horizon Zero Dawn, lovely game. The idea of the society being very, you know, into technology, but that was on my end, actually. But, you know, worshipping the technology instead of actually properly trying to understand it. I think that was kind of one of the big points of that game, was that, you know, everybody else had just kind of turned it into Dogma, but what they should have been doing was actually questioning and learning. to a lot of people. Today's science is like magic. There's so much knowledge now that no one can understand all of them. It's true. But I think so much of that specifically, it's almost kind of on the responsibility of the people that do not know to not necessarily accept the truth from people that do know, but that... What is the phrase? Dunning-Kruger? I think it is. Where the less you know, the more you think you know. Whereas the more you know, the more you realize you have no idea about anything. That's such a neat idea, but it's also terrifying. Logging in. Hello, Sable. Jotty's voice echoes strangely through the machine, yet it still warms me. Well, Sable, this is it. By the time you hear this, we'll have gone. The gliding is a journey that must begin alone. There's a certain nuance lost in transmission, and for that I am grateful. It would be far too much to hear the cracks in her voice, and not run weepily into her arms to stay forever. But I'm ready. And so I close my eyes and listen. But though you may go by yourself, you are not without friends, you are not without family, you are not without love. These things you will always carry with you, as you do your mask. And I know I'm not supposed to do this, but if I were you, I might go see Utari, the machinist at Burnt Oak Station, and among Cizo's closest friends. Utari is a good contact to have in one's gliding, and a fine way to get another machinist badge if you're so inclined. Only a suggestion, though. As for us, I'll send another message once we've returned to the ewer, so keep an eye on the post boxes and try not to forget us. She takes a long breath, and I forget that things as easy as breathing could ever exist. The world is waiting, Sable. Good luck. Where's my bike? Oh. Whoa. That's a weird noise. There it is. It just kind of comes on its own. Alright, that's sick. Alright, can I change some things? So I got some bike parts. Aha! Here we go. Oh, that's the outfit. I was wondering why we didn't look badass. Now we look badass. Let's get out of here. Yeah, talking about the current situation, and there's a lot of people that think they know better. Yeah, it's weird. And once again, kind of the Dunning-Kruger situation. Oh, hello. Oh, this is cool. Bye! It's gonna finally zoom back in and it'll just be crashed. Help. Help. Oh, there we go. Okay. Boy, Japanese breakfast is good. I should listen to them more often. Game made by Japanese? No, Japanese Breakfast is a band that did this song. What the? Is that a sheep or a bush? Is that a... Wait, there are two heads. What's going on here? No, there's multiple. There's like 5 or 6 of them in there. Yeah, I see 3 heads. That's a bug. I love bugs like that, where it's just like, what is going on there? Oh, that's what's going on there. That is a horror. Yeah, somebody please clip the weird Cerberus goat. Oh shit, I should draw that as like a boss. Goatberus? Cerberot? I don't know.